Hi friends, Laura here. I wanted to hop on super quick before the episode begins to let you know that this is going to be an audio only episode. Originally, we did record video along with it, but we had technological difficulties, so it is audio only. And you will notice throughout the episode that we discuss how tired we look, so you're just going to have to imagine how tired we look, and trust me, we did. But I hope you'll stick around. We have a fantastic episode for you.
You're listening to the Hustled Up podcast. I'm Laura Natoli.
And I'm Holly Silva, and we are best friends since birth turned multi-passionate entrepreneurs and co-owners of Chores and More, a successful service-based business where everybody is treated like a best friend.
Welcome to our show where tactical business education meets fun and real conversations about this wild journey called life.
Get ready to be inspired. Grab your headphones, turn up the volume, and let's hustle up.
Hey, what is up, Hustled Up fam? We are your hosts. My name is Laura.
And I'm Holly.
And welcome back to another week's episode of Hustled Up. We are so happy that you have joined us here today, and we have a super fun topic for you guys. I say that every week, but honestly, I think all of our topics are fun, so whatever. But before we dive into the topic, as always, you know I gotta do it. I gotta go remind you to, wherever you are listening, to please rate, review, subscribe, share this podcast with a friend, especially if you found it helpful and you know somebody who could use it. We would love to just reach more listeners and spread our free education further. Spread those little wings. All right. So today we are going to talk about, which if you're watching this, you can probably tell that we're a little sleepy. I'm going to be real with you. Like, I'm looking at us right now and I'm like, we look sleepy. Like, do we not?
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. Holly's laughing because she knows it's true. Like, I'm pretty sure my eyes aren't even fully awake right now. We had a long weekend, but in general, I'm going to be real. Holly and I are just in a period of burnout. And I know we talk about burnout a lot, but we're in a period of one right now. So we thought, instead of talking about burnout specifically, we wanted to talk about that it's okay to delegate things at any size in your business. Because I feel like a lot of people, and I myself for a long time had this belief that you can only delegate if you're $1 million company, if you're huge, but that's just simply not true. And Holly and I have been starting to delegate more and more tasks, and I have to say it really does help with that burnout. So we're going to talk a little bit about the things that we've delegated, who we've delegated to, and just that it's okay to delegate. Really, at any size business, it is okay, and it will actually help you grow faster. So if this resonates with you, stay tuned.
Are you tired of spending your entire weekend cleaning when you could be going out to brunch with your girls?
First of all, I love brunch. And second of all, yes, there are so many things I could be doing instead of cleaning my house on the weekend.
Oh yeah, like playing video games.
Or watching a movie with the kids.
Going on a date with your significant other.
Taking your dog to the dog park.
Going to the movies.
Solving world hunger.
Yes! Exactly. So this is why it is such a good idea to call up Chores and More for your deep and recurring cleaning needs.
And do you want to know something really, really cool?
What?
If anybody mentions Hustled Up when they call to book, they can receive up to $100 off their deep cleaning.
Up to $100 off. What are you doing still sitting there? Pick up the phone now, mention our podcast, and never have to spend your weekends cleaning again.
Simply go to choresandmorellc.com. You can fill out our request quote form there, or give us a call, send us a text, 631-397-0177. It is time to get back to doing the things you love. Let us take care of the cleaning.
Okay, we are back. And before we even dive into the topic, I'm going to address why we look a little sleepy, aside from burnout. Because we had, which this is another episode topic entirely that I would love to do about company culture, but we had our company barbecue yesterday. And we have this annually. We always have it at the office right in the backyard. And it's such a fun time, but I'm not going to lie, having it on a Sunday might have been a mistake because I am exhausted.
Yeah, I'm very tired. I forget about the fact that not only are you, hosting people and also partying with them, but you have to do cleanup and make sure everything is set. And then when I go home, I don't know if anybody else is like this. When I am out somewhere for the day and then I go home, I cannot just go to bed. I have to unwind. I have to watch a movie or watch TV or go on my phone or read a book. Like, it's always something though that clean up a little bit too is like a big part of it. Like, I don't like going to sleep in a dirty place. So I can't just go home and go to bed. So when we got home last night at the late hour of 9 p.m., which is like way past my bedtime, first I had to shower because it was so hot yesterday here in New York, which I'm sure all you Southern people are probably like, oh, that's child's play up there. It ain't hot. You know, it was like 90 up here. But for us Northeasterners, right, way too hot. We were all sitting outside sweating. We had like a little inflatable pool thing where we were just sitting in it trying to like cool off. It was ridiculous. So I had to go home. I had to shower because I was so sweaty. And then obviously I just wanted to unwind with some TV. So I went to bed later than it was, anyway. But I think just being out with everybody, which I love our annual barbecue. I love it. It's always so fun. I'm getting old.
I know, 9 p.m.
Y'all gonna yell at us for saying. I know a lot of people say you're a baby. No, I'm old. I feel so. I still haven't caught up, but it's always worth it. And we definitely have. I have some content that I'll be rolling out with that this week, or maybe by the time this launches, it will already be up. So plan on doing that today. It'll already be up on our TikTok and Instagram. But it was a lot of fun. We got to celebrate. We really believe in company culture, which I feel like we've done episodes about this. We probably have. I think we have actually. So I can always, we can always link that in the description below about how to like make your employees happy. I think it was, or something.
Yeah.
We're really big on like company gatherings. We like to do 2 a year. One in the beginning of the summer, which is our barbecue, which we did a little later this year. That's why we were all sweating. And our Christmas party. So this was like the big event, and lucky for me and Laura, we have leftover food for days. So,
oh yeah, I don't need lunch all week, but I'm tired. We had it on a Sunday this year instead of a Saturday because we just couldn't make a Saturday date work, and we wanted as many employees to be there as possible. But I'm like, okay, we're going back to like early May next year. We're going to do Saturday for sure, because going to work the next day, I'm tired. I woke up and I was like, I'm not ready for it to be Monday.
I did like having it earlier in the day though, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that.
I did kind of enjoy that. That was a good idea. Because we had it a little bit earlier knowing that it was a Sunday, and, wanted to make sure our employees weren't going to call out today.
Literally.
But we ended up partying it up for like 8 hours. So I was like, how did this happen?
It didn't matter.
I was expecting to like kick everybody out after a solid 4. That didn't happen. We were having so much fun. We played so many fun games. Our new obsession is Tapple. If anybody is like board game or like, that's not really a board game, but like group game people, Tapple is a lot of fun. And Laura got it for $8 in Walmart, and that's here in New York. So imagine how much cheaper it is if you're like in one of the cheaper states.
Definitely go get it.
Yeah, so we played that. We played Catchphrase. We had Jenga set up. They were playing, Bago. So it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, good time. And I hope that the employees who did come like felt our appreciation for them and our love for them.
Yeah, we it's so important to just show them that you care, because also, especially in a job like ours, we don't get to see them that often, and which I believe we've mentioned, we only see them maybe once a week. So It's really nice to all get together and connect and get to bond on a personal level and just spend that quality time together. It's so nice. So if you don't do group gatherings with your business, I would highly recommend it. And you don't have to do it weekly or monthly. They have their own life too, but I think it's really a good idea to do that just to show them that you care. But it's part of the reason we're a little sleepy-eyed today. So
I know. I feel like I'm having trouble opening my eyes all the way.
I know. I'm tired. But anyway, so this is what made us think, hey, let's talk about something that kind of mitigates burnout, because I feel like you can get burnt out to a really extreme level if you are not willing to outsource and delegate and ask for help with those things that you need help with. And if you have not read the book Who Not How, go get it. You can download it on Audible. You can buy it off Amazon. Go get it. It is all about delegating and how when you delegate, you're actually going to grow faster. You spend money to make money, and it's so worth it. And Holly and I are kind of polar opposites, where if Holly was 100% in charge, we would delegate everything. And if I was 100% in charge, or my old mindset anyway, was we wouldn't have delegated anything because I wanted to hang on to all the money. I didn't want to spend that money. I was like, we can do it ourselves. But we've kind of met in the middle and realized we cannot do it all ourselves. And not only can we not, we shouldn't have to do it all ourselves, because also the quality of work that we're putting out in the areas that we're good at are going to be better if we're delegating the things that either we're not good at, they don't make us happy, they don't bring us joy. So, when we finally sat down and we're like, and we've been kind of doing this more and more. We started off really small and we've been slowly delegating more and more. And I would say it's changed our business a lot, Holly, right? Like it's really changed us.
Yeah, it's helped a lot. And there's been a few things not only that we've delegated to like office staff, but there are things we've I don't know how to word it, like softwares and things like that we've like brought, and like companies that we brought on to help us with things, to help give us some of our time back. And I'm like, how did we do it all before it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
For example, we have Woot Recruit. We had Libby on our show a few weeks ago, and that's like a recruiting software that we pay for every month, and it helps us streamline our hiring process so that Laura doesn't have to shift through hundreds of Indeed applications. It even books the interviews for us. Laura has open time slots in her calendar, and they've integrated with Calendly, I believe, or maybe not anymore. I think they have their own thing now, but for a while it was Calendly, where people would just schedule their interview if they passed like a series of deal breaker questions. And paying for something like that has been tremendously helpful for us, because it's giving Laura her time back in terms of not having to shift through applications, schedule the interview. All of that takes a lot of time, and it's easy things that can be kind of delegated out, even if it's not to a person, even if it's to an automation, even if it's to a software. And we are in this like day and age now where you can delegate a lot of things to like robots, to put it, bluntly. But no, to like AI, to automations, to even like, I delegate a lot of my copywriting now to ChatGPT. ChatGPT, my bestie. I was a naysayer for a long time. I was like, I could do better. I'm a writer. Like, I'm a writer, right? So like, I'm supposed to hate ChatGPT, but now I use it to my advantage. Of course, I edit everything, but having to just say like, write me a blog post about this. Oh my gosh. It makes life so easy. It makes life so easy. But also delegating to people, which, as Laura said, for a while I was a major control freak, and I still have like tendencies. I do. But now I'm at a point where I've learned, and this, I don't know if I should even say this. I don't know if this is good advice, but I personally value my time over money. Right. So Laura does have to reel me in, because I tell her, I want an assistant. I want to hire this person. I want this person. Like, I tell her all the time, I'm like, people say, oh, what do you want to do like in your business as the owner? And I say, nothing. Nothing.
I want to go to company barbecues.
Yeah, really. I don't even want to host them anymore. I just want somebody to throw it for me. Like, I'm done with it. I'm done with everything. But on a serious note, she has had to reel it in, but we've had to sit down and decide what, at our size, right? Because you don't want to like live beyond your means in your business, but like what at our size we can afford to delegate, and what's like taking up a lot of time or like stressing us out mentally, or things that we're just not really, that's not fueling us, because of course we get stuck in the day-to-day things, especially at our size, at a business of our size. But there were certain things that we knew we could pass off for reasonable expense and it be worth its weight in gold. So, for example, we had this genius idea to hire Laura's mother, who has previous bookkeeping experience. So she's got a little bit of knowledge of numbers. And this is going to be crazy. Y'all are going to be like, you're nuts for doing this. But we don't want to do payroll anymore. I don't want to do it. I hate doing it. Our pay structure is a little complicated. Not complicated, but it is a little different. And it requires some mathing and stuff. And we keep like very detailed records of our payroll and stuff. So even just like the data entry is time consuming. And I remember when we were doing payroll, I think it was Laura who was doing it. We would deal with phone calls and employees and this and that and like day-to-day distractions. So it would take Laura like a whole Monday to get that
Oh,
payroll
yeah.
in.
It was horrible. And it was my least favorite task, too.
Oh, yeah, you hated it.
Nobody likes it. I was like, oh my God, I hated Tuesdays because I knew I was like, oh, Tuesday. Like I would try to get it done on Monday, but Tuesday was the deadline. It has to be done. And I would literally wake up hating Tuesdays.
And that was back when we only had 3 cleaners, I think.
Oh
right?
My God, you're right.
Now we have, I think, 9 or 8 maybe. Or 8, I think 8 at this like
going to be
current
9
moment.
today.
It's going to be 9 today.
Mm-hmm.
And Sue, her mother, is able to get it done in like 3 hours. I'm not kidding. We pay her like it's like penny. Like not that we pay her bad, but like compared to like what it's worth for us, she gets it done in like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like she probably less, honestly, because I feel like she works like 6 hours a week and she does payroll. And the other thing she does that I was the one in charge of that I was like, I hated it. And again, this was for only 3 cleaners at the time, was the timesheets. So we have them do this like very detailed timekeeping thing just because they're remote employees. And, you know, we like to have we like to cross our T's and dot our I's. So there's this whole thing that we do. And I was taking like also an entire day to like do the data entry and the calculations for these timesheets for like 3 employees at the time. And again, she's working like 6 hours a week, busting out payroll and doing these timesheets. Whereas it took Laura and I like a collective 16 hours probably.
Yeah.
So to pay out on like a business owner's end, what is a little bit of money to like save us so much energy and time has been like worth its weight in gold for us. It's been huge. And at our size, I think they say like you should have a full-time office person running every like $300,000 to $350,000 in revenue. So like at $1 million, you would have 3 full-time office people. We're not at $1 million yet. But at our size, we really shouldn't be like bringing in any full-time people into the office at this point. But we knew that there were a few things that we had to pass off that were just taking up too much time, and we were done with it. And another thing, go ahead, you first.
Oh, I was just going to say, not to mention, not only is it freeing up our time, but it's freeing up our time to get more important, I don't want to say important, but more tasks done. It's not like, oh, well, now all that time Holly and I spent doing payroll and timesheets, it's not like, oh, well, now I can sit on my ass and do nothing. It's no, now Holly can really dive into our social media game and up our marketing and whatnot and work on our Google profile. And I can spend a lot more time doing sales calls, doing follow-ups. It's like we're taking that time that we spent on mundane, time-consuming tasks, and we put that into not only what we're good at, but also what's going to move our needle in the business. So you're delegating to free up time, yes, for mental clarity and to not do the tasks you hate, but also just because your time as a business owner is so valuable. You're supposed to be doing those important tasks that only you can do. So it freed up our time to really get shit done, which is why it helped our growth, not only our mental capacity, but it helped our growth as well.
Yeah. What is that book? The E-Myth, right? Where they talk about like, as an entrepreneur, like you are the visionary, right? So you're not even fully like the implementer at a certain point. You're the person who thinks the ideas and then you pass them off to people. So like I had this wonderful idea to like do these timesheets and then I got stuck doing them. And I was like, what have I done? But, if you're stuck in, like, if I was stuck in those day-to-day tasks of doing those timesheets, I'm not going to think up ideas for other things in our business that are going to eventually help us grow or immediately help us grow. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's important to remember that you're the thinker. You're not always the doer. And you need time and you need energy to think up those good ideas. And if you're always working on day-to-day things, and especially day-to-day things that aren't fueling your passion and filling your cup, your brain is not going to like be braining the way you need it to. So you're not going to think those good ideas and you're not going to like have time to do those things to really, as Laura said, move that needle in your business.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then there are certain things that honestly we just needed to delegate and hand off that we just we tried to do on our own and we couldn't. And one of those things is bookkeeping. We thought we could do it on our own. We have QuickBooks. So a lot of people think like, oh, you have QuickBooks. You just put everything in, you plug everything in, then you're good. No, not for us anyway. Not for us. So we just hired a bookkeeper, and honestly, it has been, it's brand new, so I can't like really give a testimony to it yet, but just not having to worry about it right now and knowing that we'll have a better idea of our numbers and that things will be where they're supposed to be, it's going to be like tremendously helpful for us. So that was another thing we recently had to delegate out. We didn't hire an in-house bookkeeper. We hired a bookkeeping service. So sometimes it doesn't mean, like I said, hiring somebody. It means hiring a service or bringing on a software or something like that.
Yeah, as we're talking, I'm realizing actually that we've delegated a lot more than I've even thought about. Because, you know, we have my mom in the office. We're actually slowly, which I think we mentioned, are bringing our number one girl, Ashley, into the office. She's doing, you know, a half day here, a full day there, you know, at least once a week. We try to get her in here for a little bit of office work. But we have outsourced to so many companies. We have somebody that helps with our marketing. We have Woot Recruit who helps with our hiring. We have the bookkeeping company. We have Incentive Fox, which helps with our referral program. What else do we have? Probably more that I can't even think of. We really and I feel like with each step, like, yes, we're investing money, right? But also with each step, that control freak tendencies that a lot of entrepreneurs tend to have gets lifted and goes out the window. And it's a good thing, because I think also as an entrepreneur, we are programmed to be like, well, I can do it the best. I can do it better. Let me just do it myself. But that's not true. A lot of these companies or these people, they specialize in these services, which is why they're probably going to be better at it than us. So sometimes when you delegate, like with we delegated the cleaning. I think a lot of people forget that's where the delegating starts. And believe it or not, Holly and I always said, oh, we're never going to be able to pass off some of these clients. We're never going to be able to not do initial cleanings. And now we don't clean at all. We clean maybe like 0.5% of the time. And we definitely don't do initial cleanings. If we have to step into the field, we're like, I'm not doing a first time deep cleaning. I'm not doing it.
Nope.
And there was a point where not too long ago, we were doing all of them because we just thought it was impossible to have anybody else do them and do them as well as we would. And as the business owner, you might find things that no one's going to do as well as you. And that might be the case in some aspects. Sometimes, yes, you're hiring somebody because they're an expert. Sometimes you're hiring somebody and they're not going to do it as good as you, but they're still going to do a great job. And you have to accept that. I think that's the number one thing when delegating, realizing, listen, if it's not done perfect, that's okay, as long as it's done great and as long as you're not the one having to do that.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse when I say this, because I say this like at least once per episode. But you're not going to successfully delegate if you haven't put systems and procedures into place yet, or at the very least, maybe you're delegating to help with that. But like, you need systems. So for example, Laura and I took our coach Beth, who is going to be on the show in like maybe a couple weeks or months. I'm so excited. Anyway, Beth Eldridge rolled out the deep clean specialist training. And so we used that to delegate those deep cleanings and make sure we are still very much involved in them to make sure that they're done right. We have a whole open to close process that we've been refining to make sure that we are not only slaying those deep cleans, but also retaining the client. And that's something that we never thought we would be able to pass off. And now we're very successful in it because we have a system in place that helps us do that. So it's important that when you do start delegating as well, you kind of like know like what the procedures are of whatever it is that you're delegating. And, you know, when we passed off payroll, we weren't like, good luck, you know, just have fun with this. But, you know, I had a whole, you know, I made a whole playbook for it. This is exactly how we do it. We calculate this. This is where this happens. Then you send this to this person. Like, you know, so it's important to make sure you know exactly like what those systems are. And the beautiful thing is that when you have a little bit more free time, because you've already delegated a couple things, you can start developing even more systems and processes. And that's kind of the beautiful thing. And that's when you're able to start delegating a little bit more and your business grows a little bit more. And the more you grow, the more you can delegate. So that's kind of where that all just starts to blossom. You just become a beautiful little business where you don't have to do a damn thing in it. No, one day.
Holly's dream.
Right? Oh, gosh.
One day.
I just want to sit here and record hustled up videos, but I fear that if I delegate too much, then I'll have nothing to talk about. So maybe it's a good thing we haven't delegated everything yet.
That's true. One day, I mean, hey, there are a lot of people out there who own businesses who are absentee owners. And there's quite a few who own cleaning businesses that are absentee. So at one point, if you systemize your business so well, you can one day grow and become an absentee owner. But I do want to say with anything that you do delegate, as our coach Debbie says, you have to inspect what you expect. You can't just go delegating things, especially if you're like at that level where you're absentee. You can't just delegate and walk away and never check up on it. Like as we start to delegate more and more, we're going to be checking the numbers, checking the stats. How's it going? You know, if we say we delegated sales, I'm not going to train a salesperson and then never check up on them, never look at the recordings. No, I'm going to be listening to their phone calls. I'm going to be asking for their conversion rates. You know, you always have to inspect what you expect when it comes to delegating everything. So once Holly and I are absentee owners sipping margaritas on the beach, we'll be popping in, once a month to check those numbers. No, let me stop. One day.
Yeah, we still even do that at our size. I mean, we have Sue send us payroll and the timesheets every week. And also in terms of our cleaning techs, we do routine quality checks because as we're growing, we're finding that achieving consistency between all of the cleanings has been a little bit of a challenge. Not to say anybody's like sucking, but there's just like little things that aren't matching up between each cleaner. So we make sure that we are doing routine quality checks when we can, because again, you have to inspect what you expect. And so it is important when you pass things off, not to just be like, fly little bird, you're free, and just make sure you like keep them, you reel them in and make sure that they're performing the way you need them to. And then for your office staff, you start setting KPIs and things like that, which we don't have any of that yet. Soon, definitely. But, you just got to make sure that you are holding people accountable, including your cleaners. Like if you're at that stage where you just have a couple cleaners and it's only you in the office, make sure you're holding them accountable. It's important.
Yeah, definitely. And we do it with ourselves too. We hold ourselves accountable. I mean, we just did a whole episode on the importance of tracking your numbers. We track our own numbers to hold ourselves accountable and say, okay, if this number was low, what can I do to improve? So it starts with you. Once you're doing it for yourself, you'll be able to do it for other people.
Yeah. I have nothing to add. I thought that was great.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like this episode was really good, honestly. And it all stemmed from us being very sleepy.
It literally stemmed from, what can we talk about without having to take a damn note?
It's true. We're recording this the day before it comes out. Like, we came into the office on a Monday morning at 7 a.m. to get this done because we're trying to be consistent. We
are. But speaking of consistency, we are going to be absent next week. We're skipping a week, so we'll be back in 2 weeks. Taking a week off just because I will be away trying to alleviate some of my own burnout. So I'm heading to Fire Island for just a few days. But I figured, with all the prep work that goes into uploading an episode, which y'all better start loving on us a little bit more and sharing this freaking podcast because it's a lot of work. It ain't easy. And we haven't delegated that yet.
That's true. One day when we have millions of followers, we'll delegate it.
Yeah. But it was literally, we came in this morning and I was like, Laura actually said, she was like, what can we just riff-raff about? What can we just riff-raff? She said, and I really like that. I don't even know if I think that's a saying. I love it. But we were like, we don't want to take notes. We don't want to get too tactical. Like my brain don't want to turn on today. I'm so tired.
Literally.
So hopefully this episode was a little bit helpful, even if it was just a little bit of an inspirational one for you. I hope that that's the case. And you're like, I'm going to hire that bookkeeper. I've been wanting them to track my numbers for a while, or, I'm going to go on Root Recruit. I need an employee. So hopefully, this is helpful for you in some kind of way. And, if you ever want to reach out to us if you have questions or anything, please feel free to hop in our Instagram DMs or send us an email. You can find us at hustled.podcast on Instagram, and our email is hustleduppodcast@gmail.com. And we are looking for more guests. We still have a few more lined up, but if you'd like to come on and chit chat with us and riff-raff about things, I don't know if that's even the word. You can go to hustle.podcast.com, and there's like a little link at the top that literally says "Be Our Guest," and you can fill out the form there, and we'll contact you and schedule a date to record if we think it'll be a good fit.
Yeah, we would love to talk to more people and just connect with more people. That's one of my favorite things, honestly, about this podcast is we've had the opportunity to chat with so many people who we wouldn't have had that opportunity prior. We've gotten to meet so many amazing people from all different industries too. You know, don't think that you have to be in the cleaning industry. Don't think that you have to be a business owner. We want to talk to more people in general about, you know, if not business, about life, about being busy, about being a stay-at-home mom. We're really open to any type of guest. So as long as it's a good fit, you know, on a personal level and whatnot, on a character level, we want to chat with you. So don't hesitate to fill out that form.
Absolutely. 100%. So make sure you connect with us. If you want to connect with me personally, all my links are in the description below. I don't know what's what anymore. I'm on the internet. I don't remember. I changed all. I keep changing my handles. I can't make my mind up.
I go to tag Holly in something, and I'm like planning in Holly in. What is it today? So
it's always different. You don't know what you're gonna get. I don't even know if those links are up today. I gotta make sure they are.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm super simple. I'm Laura Anatolia and everything. So go follow me there. Go check us out on TikTok and Instagram at Chores and More. We're always posting super fun stuff on that TikTok, some dances. We're posting some hustled up content as well. So go find us and connect with us.
Yay! And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Go kick some booty this week and have a good one.